Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Sphumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. If you want to be a part of our tech conversation, it is SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za, on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking if you think it's a good idea for Uber to blacklist customers who are behaving badly. But first, here's what's coming up tonight. We go to the Africa Automation Fair. We also play around with a car that has some fancy tech. This week, our conversation is about Infotech, an incubator in Durban. Automation is part of a lot of things we do nowadays. You find that much of what we're exposed to is no longer operated manually. Sandile Hlangane went to the Africa Automation Fair.
The field of education is searching for ways to respond to the fast approaching impact of automation across all sectors and fields, including its own.
What we teach, how we teach, will have to change, because the fourth industrial revolution is going to require the sort of skills that will make people thrive then.
With the technology that is at our disposal right now, any material that you're looking for, at the click of a button, you just have access to it. So which means that it has become an equalizer. So with education that we are providing, we are not going to be saying that opportunities for the young person who actually has pursued education in this space will be different from a person who will be pursuing education in a different space.
However, in order for higher education to deliver future generations with the right set of skills and knowledge, an imperative question has to be asked regarding how higher education institutes would be affected by the fourth industrial revolution and how the delivery of education will be changed.
From a curriculum perspective, I know the University of South Africa is developing an automation curriculum which will be delivered through our mechanical and industrial engineering department, which will work closely with the Department of Operations Management. Those are some of the signs that shows how we are moving forward.
Our current efforts are directed at curriculum changes, what people call transformation, largely to align our PQM with the demands of industry, and it follows that with the new world of work that comes with the fourth industrial revolution features.
While automation is expected to transform the education sector, some say there is recognition that it will also disrupt the workplace and drive economic growth.
It's going to bring the cost of some products down, definitely. It will definitely get to a point where computers do more work and we have time to do more of non-repetitive stuff. So in that sense, definitely a positive impact financially. If a person is only maybe packing bags, it might have a negative impact on that.
The fourth industrial revolution will surely have a major impact and change the world as we know it, but it remains to be seen whether the impact will be largely positive or negative.
BMW has topped its new SUV lineup with the BMW X7. They used technology from the Rolls-Royce Cullinan for this one.
We're launching the latest generation into the addition of our BMW luxury class vehicles, the BMW X7, and with that comes with it, a raft of new technologies to make the car a lot more intelligent, digital, and connected to you as the driver. We all live in an age where we rely on our mobile devices, so you can connect your car to your device or your phone by downloading the BMW Connected app. So basically anything that happens to the car you can see on your phone, whether it's the range of fuel that you have left, whether you can actually also set the temperature in the car before you leave. So let's say on a hot day like this you want to make the car cold, you can control that from your phone. Other things is driver assistance systems, because obviously we're heading towards semi-autonomous driving and autonomous driving. So as part of our strategy of also preparing ourselves to get to autonomous driving, we sort of giving customers a taste of what they can expect. So basically we have things like, amongst other many things that we cannot cover in such a short space of time, lane keep assist, so which basically the car reads the lanes of the road and enables you to take your hands off the steering wheel for a certain period of time, and then while also kind of steering itself and kind of keeping the car in a straight line. The BMW Live Cockpit Professional, so just a lovely high quality display of the information of the car. And then another aspect is what we call BMW Intelligent Personal Assistant. So basically it's almost like your PA in the car. So you can prompt it and say, hey BMW, and then it responds, and you can say, what is today's weather? And then it will sort of show the latest weather that's available. Or you can say, hey BMW, drive me to location XYZ, and then it will basically go automatically into your navigation and do that.
There was a time video gaming was something people did just for fun, but now eSports has become a recognized sport. We are going to Kenya for this one.
These Kenyans have decided to hone their gaming skills. Like many others, they aim to build a professional career in eSports, the competitive side of electronic gaming where multiple players battle against one another in teams. It can even be a spectacular sport with many matches streaming live to eager young fans. Esports has become big business, and high-value prize money is often on the cards.
If you look at countries like those in the West and in Asia, esports has become a full-time occupation where you have dedicated athletes who compete in games. So I can list some of them off, like League of Legends has a dedicated league, Overwatch in multiple continents, whereby the players are paid a stipend and they also earn money from endorsements that they receive from sponsors and corporate investors. And this has now changed the landscape of the sport, where people are taking it now more seriously, like an actual sport.
Gaming is said to be the world's favorite form of entertainment right now, and esports already boast an estimated 215 million players worldwide in a growing market. Kenya will host the inaugural Africa Esports Championships later this year, and players are getting themselves up to speed in the lead up.
I see myself becoming one of the most recognized esports athletes, and not just because of my gender, because of my skill. Because I'm taking the slow and gradual steps to improving my gameplay.
Several African countries benefit from esports thanks to youthful populations and broadband access. And talent managers are often scouting for fresh talent to nurture. Global esports revenues are expected to rise by 27% in 2019, thanks to the ballooning revenues from advertising, sponsorships and media rights to competitive video gaming.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat to Stembile Ngobo from Infotech.
Be ready when the future calls. To share your ideas, your talents. Celebrate moments that matter. Nurture your family and community. Passion, determination, hard work. That's what drives you. Imagine a bank that's passionate about supporting your growth, that joins you on your financial journey and is part of your future. That's you Bank, growing with you.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now, Infotech is a business incubator that mainly houses people from underprivileged communities. We went there to find out what some of those incubators there do.
Hi, I'm Nondega Mhlongo, Marketing and Communication Specialist for Sakia Foundation. Sakia Foundation is a foundation that prides itself on art and in the theatre productions. So we have 3 sectors where we have publishers, people who write their books and then we publish for them. We also have people in the performing arts, we do theatre productions, and also we have Sakia Records where we own a recording company.
We do digital marketing for the busy bees, the people who are looking forward to having their online presence on point, on the top notch. We are the right guys to speak with. For instance, we manage your socials, your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We create a visible content that speaks direct to your consumers online.
I'm a co-founder of a company called Black Buy Solutions, which is basically an online vetting system that standardizes all black products and services. It aims to set the standard of quality for all black products and services, also by bridging the gap between the mainstream economy and the previously disadvantaged.
I'm the co-founder of Azania Neptune Labs. Azania Neptune Labs is a blockchain startup that creates financial technology from blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is taking what is done by one centralized party like a reserve bank, a Facebook, a data center, and taking that particular functionality and spreading it across different people that are part of the organization.
Sembile Ngobo, thank you very much for being a part of our network.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
So, let's say I am now at Infotech. What do I have access to?
Infotech is a business incubator. We are based at KwaZulu-Natal. We support entrepreneurs within the innovation space, creativity and digital technology, agriculture and agro-processing, green technology and innovation. We have access to our mentorship program. We have access to the facilities around. As we have seen, we are allowed to come here and use the computers and use the facilities because the entrepreneurs, when they start, they don't have means or money to have offices. So we give them that professional setting where they can come and conduct their meetings, where they can come and run their businesses, so that we can also teach them a value of running a business, to wake up each and every day and go to work as you are reporting to someone.
Are tertiary qualifications important for one to be incubated at Infotech?
Not exactly that are important, but we emphasize education, because when you have education, there are more things that you can be able to understand in your business. But let's say you're in a rural area, you just finished a matric, but we have a very innovative product, but we don't have any means or any funds to go and further your studies. We then support you and also add an element that when your business is up and running, go and acquire those skills so that you cannot sit and let your business be run by other people. Have an understanding of your business, know the ins and outs of your business, and you can only acquire that knowledge through education.
Let's say I want to be incubated here. What do I need to do?
You can be a youth. Can also be an adult in a community within the South African economy, based in KwaZulu-Natal, because we are at the moment we're at KwaZulu-Natal because we're under SEDA. SEDA, they have different incubators across South Africa, so we're the one that is based at KwaZulu-Natal. So you need to have a registered business. You need to have an idea that you can change an idea to a viable or commercialized product or a service. You need to be 18 years and above. You need to have a tax clearance. But let's say you don't have all those things. As Infotech, we support you in acquiring all those documents that are needed when you're in business.
Where does the youth that's incubated here come from?
We target all youth from all walks of life, from the rural, from the urban, and also from the city, because we want to create I wouldn't say a partnership, but I would say a buddy system where they can be able to to share the skills, to share the knowledge within each other, because the youth in cities, they have broader knowledge in terms of technology, whereas the youth in rural areas, they have less knowledge in terms of technology because of the underprivileged backgrounds, and also the level of education that is being offered in the rural areas compared to the city life. It's so different. So that's why we are also targeting the youth in the rural areas, because there's a lot of people that have innovation ideas, but the problem is that they don't know where to go, they don't know how to start those businesses. They end up sitting at home with those innovative businesses.
Why are innovation and technology a huge part of what you do?
Innovation and technology is a big thing in our South Africa's economy right now, as we are living in the fourth industrial revolution sector. We are trying to mentor and to develop our South African youth to live up within those circumstances that the economy is bringing to us. And also we are trying to create a mindset to them that they must regard themselves as job creators instead of job seekers, by empowering them to start their own businesses, in particular in innovation, because before we know it, everything is going to be digital. So you must live up according to what the business is looking for.
Hi, my name is Nomfundo Kaluva. I'm a jazz musician. My favorite gadget is my Mac Airbook. I love it because it's versatile, it's fast, it's light, and generally it just makes me feel like I'm in touch with the world.
I'm an African. I'm born of the peoples of the continent of Africa.
A Renaissance man, the first AU chair after the transformation of the OAU.
The violent conflict of the Sudan is a pain I also bear. The dismal shame of poverty, suffering and human degradation of my continent is a blight that we share.
African Perspective brings you an in-depth interview with South Africa's former President Thabo Mbeki on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central African Time on SABC News.
What are you predicting with the sixth parliament?
They've got to up their game.
Why is it so important for you to create platforms where people can share and grow?
I think there's something special about conversation and sharing of experiences.
Mkhwebane investigated the role of senior ANC leaders in the Free State, including then Premier.
Advocate Mkhwebane has never explained why she altered the provisional report in material ways.
The provisional report, there's no way where it's mentioning that the Premier is implicated.
This is such a massive festival, and what does it mean to you as an artist?
It's more than humbling for me to actually be showcasing everything about my music. So it's celebrating Africa.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the tech space.
Apple launched a sign-in with Apple function to rival Facebook Google Web login accounts, drawing a contrast with rival by stressing protection of users' information. Apple will also tighten controls on location tracking. When users sign in with their Google or Facebook profiles to third-party apps, the app often share valuable data with Google or Facebook, a practice that Apple is looking to stop.
From a security and privacy standpoint, Apple's done great things for their features, but in an underlying theme, what's interesting is that Apple's continuing, and I'll use this word, to firewall their customers from others who may not have their best interests in parts in part of data collection. And I think that they built a lot into their systems now, all their software platforms, to not just have an underlying guarantee of privacy and security from their place, but really started to wall them off from other people under their own initiatives that might want to take advantage of their customer base. And I think that's something that people will really appreciate.
The company meanwhile retired the iTunes app for the Mac, originally introduced in 2001 by Apple co-founder Steve Jobs as a way to load songs onto the then new iPod. Apple said it will replace iTunes with standalone apps for music, video content and podcasts.
I think it's really important that Apple is offering this sign-in with Apple, because I think there's a lot of concern about these sort of single sign-in systems that we've seen out there between Google and Facebook. There's a lot of worries that people have that people's data is being taken by these services and used in a lot of ways that they don't particularly care about. So I think it's great that Apple's taking this step, because it gives people a new way to provide a simple single sign-in for a whole bunch of different services.
Apple announced an update of the Mac Pro, high-powered machine intended for professional users such as movie editors.
I think it's sign of the times, right? I mean, the reality is how many people have been frustrated with iTunes from an experience, saying like, why is my movies and my media and all in these other places when you use it on your iPhone? We don't use iTunes, right? You use something else. And so I think that there's part of that that's just modernizing what's happening in the smartphone world and bringing that right to the desktop platform.
The annual developer conference is occurring against the backdrop of increased scrutiny of Apple's practices and those of other tech companies. Parts of Great Britain launched a 5G mobile network with super-fast data speeds and more reliable connections after 5 years of hype. The service is now available in 6 cities around the UK and is due to roll out nationwide over the next year.
It's fantastic. We're going to be one of the first places in Europe to have comprehensive 5G capability in major cities, and I think it's great for UK PLC.
When downloading a movie, the 5G phone needs less time than 4G. In the long term, 5G will allow mobile networks to provide for more connections. To use 5G, users need new phones. However, not everyone is convinced, as some of them are not willing to pay for a new phone to upgrade to 5G. Samsung, LG and HTC all produce 5G phones, but one major player missing out is Huawei.
Missing out on 5G for Huawei was already a challenge from the network perspective, but now it's hit their handsets. It's a major blow. This was a company that was on the trajectory to be one of the leading smartphone makers in the world. It was already number 2, and it was hoping that 5G would give them that push to lead a new technology into the future and help them truly become a number 1 player.
Google banned the Chinese tech giant's new 5G devices from receiving upgrades on the Android operating system. The new Huawei 5G phone has been blocked from the UK's first 5G. Many of the innovations that will make 5G disruptive are yet to arrive, but providers hope that when they do, consumers will be quick to see the benefits. Dutch Telecom and German Air Traffic Control have entered into a joint venture called Droning to further develop the market for drones with remote-controlled long-haul flights. Remote-controlled flights with drones are currently impossible outside the visible range. Droning technology will change that, DFS and Telkom told reporters, promising comprehensive use. There are currently 500,000 drones in operation, according to DFS, 19,000 of which are being used for commercial purposes. Industry insiders estimate the market for the commercial use of drones will increase significantly over the next years.
This week, our Twitter poll is asking you about Uber. They've said they will start banning customers who behave badly in their vehicles. So 68% of you say yes, you agree with this. That number is in the majority. We also have 8% who are saying no, they disagree with Uber's move on this. The number is in the second minority. And at 6%, the least number of people are people who are saying they do not know. In second place are people who say they just do not care about this at all. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's newsnetwork at sabc.co.za on email. From me, Spumelele Zondi and the rest of the team right here in Durban. Have a good one. It's good night.
predicting with the sixth parliament?
They've got to up their game.
Why is it so important for you to create platforms where people can share and grow?
I think there's something special about conversation and sharing of experiences.
Mkhwebane investigated the role of senior ANC leaders in the Free State, including then Premier.
Advocate Mkhwebane has never explained why she altered the provisional report in material ways.
The provisional report, there's no way where it's mentioning that the Premier is implicated.
This is such a massive festival, and what does it mean to you as an artist?
It's more than humbling for me to actually be showcasing everything about my music. So it's celebrating Africa.